Welcome to the Legacymakers podcast. At Legacymakers, we believe that family is the foundation of society. And if you can change your family, you can change the world. We are on a mission to see family restored to the way that it was intended, so that every generation will set its hope anew on God. We want to see a movement of unity and purpose coming to life in families across the nation. And we want you to be a part of that with us. So this show is dedicated to bringing you relevant, encouraging, and timely resources, messages, and content that you can immediately take to your family and take home and apply to build a legacy that lasts. So if today's episode is encouraging or helpful in any way, would you please consider making a tax-deductible donation on our website or at the link on this podcast? Thank you so much for listening and enjoy the show. All right, well, welcome back, everybody. This is episode number 17, and we are so thankful to have you guys listening in with us. This is going to be a good show. We got all four of us here today again. This one is titled, Making Time for the Best Times When Time is Not on Our Side. Time is the most precious and valuable resource that we have as people. And it is gone in a flash if you're not careful. Time is not on our side, but when it comes to spending quality time with our family, we cannot afford not to. So I'm going to start it out right now. What are some of the things that tend to get in the way of you making and spending time with your family?
Kids.
Your family is getting in the way of you spending time with your family?
The episode last time with that
Most honest answer of all time.
So true.
Beto wants some more time with his wife, man. He really loves his bride.
Why, God? Why did you put these things in my way?
Seriously. Oh my God.
That's so
They
good.
are blessings.
That's so good.
Those little blessings.
They are.
Bless those blessings.
It's a better B word than I've heard for kids in the past.
Seriously.
That's awesome.
What tends to get in the way?
Was that a deja
What was
vu?
the question again?
What are some of the things that tend to get in the way for you guys when it comes to making time for your family?
My cell phone. Social media.
robber.
Donking.
Dude, technology.
I'm like, yep, never going to get that 30 minutes back.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, seriously, dude. Oh, I
Could have taken
beating
over the
myself
world.
on the head with that.
Literally, just had to watch that YouTube video that literally did not need to watch.
Right. Just those
Because it popped up in my face.
those dubbed animal videos, those voiceover animal videos just got me on a roll. I'd say work
Wow.
for me. Like that's
Yeah.
probably got to be the top three. I mean, I think technology and devices is up there for me as well, but work, you just constantly giving over to the mindset. I can squeeze in one more thing. I can squeeze in one more thing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this won't mind. This is a must. I throw everything in the must category, and this is urgent. This is a priority target. And so
I was just talking about that today.
yeah, and then by the way, it's a holy cause. I mean, I don't want to create a double standard, but like working in the church, it's a holy cause. So like my wife's got to understand, kids are got to understand, but yeah, that's a myth and a lie.
I found myself working till like 10 o'clock last night,
Yeah.
and my daughters were vying for my attention during some of those hours.
Right.
And yes, they were still up. And and literally, I'm on the phone with clients, like telling them, like, "Hey, Daddy's working." I'm like, "It's 9:30 at night. Like,
Right.
what am I doing?"
Right.
But my
Conviction.
justification was I just got back from vacation. And
Okay.
blah blah blah.
Wow. I got two words that start with P.
Oh.
Can you guys guess?
Procrastinate.
Yes.
Yes.
That's one. And another one.
People.
No, but I mean, that's kind of good. Productivity.
Yeah, that's good.
It's procrastination and productivity.
Yeah. And they're almost like opposite ends of the
Right.
spectrum, and they're almost like equally taking and
Yeah.
consuming your time and
Yeah,
taking away family time.
it's good.
Yeah. I mean, mine's right up there with you guys. Work, technology, oh my gosh. And I think even too, like we talked about recently, attention. Attention is read this book. Attention is influence. And so it's like attention is a sense of time. It's like it's an offering that we give to things. And when I think about attention, like I could be with my family, but I might not be attentive or present with them. I might be thinking about work. Like my mind's always thinking, like spinning,
Yep.
wrestling with the feather,
on.
always just on and on and on and on. It's like this constant noise machine. Learning to shut that thing off and just be where I'm at.
You know what's robbing people of their attention right now? The markets, stock market. I talked to a lot of people, and you know, there's a lot of focus on that, and it's just robbing them of joy for the most part that I'm seeing.
Boom.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. Sorry, go ahead.
No, there's a verse. I wish I could pull it right now because it was from a sermon I was working through, and I felt like the Lord was saying that as part of our anxiety crisis today is because we're becoming divided in our attention. We're split. Why do we feel like a tearing? Why does anxiety and depression feel like we're literally being ripped apart? Because part of our body is in the future, worrying about what's coming tomorrow, worrying about what we're gonna eat and sleep and get, or we're wounded and broken from the past, and so we're literally torn, ripped asunder, right and left, going back and going forward. And Jesus is there, and he just says, so don't worry about what you're going to eat. Don't worry about what you're going to wear. Don't worry about what's going to happen, because I give you this day your daily bread, and I'm going to provide it like I do like
Matthew
the lilies 6:32. And I do like the
6:32.
birds. There you go. So that's probably the verse. But man, we just have a fundamental attention crisis, and it wreaks havoc on our ability to be present.
And then that leads to Matthew 6:33. Which is my life verse.
Seek first.
Seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and he will give you everything you need. I heard my coach quoted this Navy SEAL saying, you can't change the past and the future, but you can change how you see them. We can change how we see the past.
Good.
And we can change how we see the future.
Super good.
Dude, that really took me a minute, but when it sank in, I was like, and I said them before, it's robbing their attention of the markets. I'm like, dude, it's robbed me too, and robbed me of joy. Yeah. And I'm just over here like last night, let me tell you what the answer was, and that restored my peace was coming to God and just being like, God, what do you want from me? What do you want me to give up? And pretty much he's like, the stock market. Like, it's like robbing you of my attention. Like, is that your money or my money? Like, you're managing it for me, right? And it was like such a relief. It was such a relief, and I'm just like, okay, I'm literally moving my account over to you, God. Like, it's under, right? I'm just
I think that's interesting. I think it's interesting because you think about like, so as it relates to the market and money, like we're investing time, we're investing our time.
Love that word, investing,
into
instead of
that
spending
area. Yeah, we're investing it, and I've learned this statistic actually from a NASDAQ website. That even though we've invested all of this time into projecting or learning or tweaking or learning how to invest our dollars, not our time, when the time that we're investing in using our dollars actually is it's becoming unfruitful,
right? Because
the time spent in those dollars. There's a statistic that says on that website, on the NASDAQ website, it says 90% of the wealth that we make, or familial wealth or generational wealth, is completely spent by the second or third generation.
Right.
Completely gone, wiped away, deleted.
Yeah.
All that time and energy spent on trying to figure out how to make the most money ends up being completely fruitless and worthless.
Yeah.
Just waste.
Talk about diminishing returns. That's part of what you're talking about.
100%
now you're talking
returns.
about generational diminishing returns,
Yeah,
which is a very powerful way to think of it.
Exactly. By the third generation. And what's interesting, too, is that 90% of millionaires in the United States today are self-made. And 90% of the wealth that they make is deleted in the matter of 3 generations.
Ouch.
Ouch, man. We need to figure out our priorities. So time is our greatest and most precious commodity. So why is it important that we invest such substantial amounts of time in things that are most important, like our family?
Well, I think it speaks to what you're talking about there, and what are the results that we're looking for, right? Which is the question we should be asking ourselves. What is the result that I want here? So, making millions, and then for it to be squandered in the next 2 generations and my legacy is literally gone and evaporated, right? Or are we shaping future generations and nations to come? Ben, I love that that statistic that you have about the impact that can be made
Oh, yeah.
in families. What do you
Through 12
happen to know it?
generations. Oh, I know
Yeah,
it right
go
by
ahead.
heart, man. Absolutely.
Go ahead. What is it?
Okay, if you have 4 kids and you are intentional about raising each of those 4 kids to be passionate followers of Christ, and then each of those 4 kids have their own 4 kids, so right, so the multiplication factor there, and then so on and so on, the compounding effect is in the matter of 12 generations, you would have 16 million passionate followers of Christ. In 12 generations, which is just over 300 years, which is about as long as the United States has been around. So you think about the impact of one family. That's one family. Times however many families we have in the
4
United
times 4
States.
times 4 times 12, basically.
Yeah.
Is that the kind of results your family's looking for?
That's what we're looking for,
Heck
baby.
There you go, baby.
Heck yeah. I'm going 10 times 10 times
Power
10
to
over
the
here.
12th.
Yeah.
It's amazing. That's compounding interest right there.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So why is it important that we invest this commodity, this rare, precious gem of a commodity that we have only a little bit of in the most important things like family? Why is it important?
Yeah, I think to quote the famed manager that Ben Glassman and I both had for a time, Mr. Bruce Swordfinger.
Yeah,
There are
shout out to Bruce.
There are 2 still current, one of the pastoral staff over the Crossing Church, meow, shout out. He had 2 lines, 2 phrases that shaped, I could maybe safe to say this, me and Ben Glassman. And one of them was impact over effort.
Oh, yeah.
We would say that almost every other week as we were working through our ministry goals, impact over effort, which is like saying...
I still use that.
Yeah, every time. Now with my staff that I manage, right? And the easiest way to translate it is to say, basically, not all effort is created equal, not all results are created equal. And so you want to make sure that you're placing your time in the right buckets that reap the greatest harvest, right? And so that's number one, he would say. And then he would also say, I just love how dumb it was, and yet it was so powerful, it could just level a room in a conversation. We'd have this great campaign and this great goal or this great program, and he'd just say, so what?
Yeah, exactly.
Just 2 words, he'd say, so what?
So what?
And it was not pejorative. It wasn't meant to hurt you. It was just meant to say, what, as a result of this success, will happen and be meaningful. And so you guys just cited the example of our kids and the multi-generational impact. Like, that's the ultimate so what. That's what matters. And so
Wow, I love that.
to put skin on it really quickly, like, no 2 investments with your kids are created equal. So you can make an investment with your kid where you're watching a show together, or you can look in them in the eyes. Like, that's 2 different, those are 2 different investments, baby.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So good. Why else is it important?
Well, I think a quick one-liner here would be creating the results that we want.
Yeah.
Right? So just creating the results you want. So and then that takes intentional action. So time invested intentionally to create the results that we want.
Yeah.
Because we're either creating a legacy by design
or by default. Yeah,
right?
exactly. It's happening one way or another.
It is.
I think that's good, and I think it's worth really evaluating your scope of imagination when you think about what results do you want. I think it's so easy, especially as humans, to like the results that I want are immediate. Like, I want to survive, or I want to have enough. I want to be able to provide for my kids. I want to be able to have a nice house, which are great, but in my mind, that's pretty small. Mm-hmm. That's very small thinking.
Right. Love your
what
faith.
What if we ask the questions? How can I provide generational wealth for the next 30 generations?
Come on.
What does that require of me?
Right.
In a sense. So it's like we need to broaden our scope of imagination.
Reminds me of that song, Come Believe It, Come Receive It.
Yeah, exactly.
That jam.
That's fire.
What results do
bro.
you want to make? You have to increase your imagination.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. And, we talk about a fatherless nation. That's the real epidemic out there, right?
Yeah.
Pandemic, fatherless nation, and
Yep.
really the answer to most of our problems in this country. One, bring back God the Father, and then, bring fathers back into the household. But, somebody said to me that a present father can do more damage than an absent one. And I was like, whoa. So
Interesting.
So yeah, the father's present, but his example is
he's lashing out, freaking out,
yeah,
quick
just
to anger.
all these things, and not that there's not right, that we can't overcome that. If we've been that, we can't overcome that. There is grace. There's a solution. We can tell our children we made a mistake. Daddy wants you to help hold him accountable. I'm doing these things. Give me a point system. I want to improve. Help me improve. I'm tracking it. Like how I respond. You get a check, awesome. Daddy. You did good. Awesome. You didn't get mad at us, right?
Yeah.
But the point is, right, this design or default, intentional, what kind of results are we creating with this? Time.
Yeah. Well, I think the argument is clear that, like, time is a very valuable resource, and we have very small amounts of it, and it's incredibly important that we allot the time that we've been given. I did this calculation. We have about 30,000 days in our life, 30,000 days. So I've already knocked off a third of that. So I got 20,000 left.
Is that for real?
Yeah, 30,000 days.
In your whole life?
In your whole life.
In like a 77-year lifespan?
I was 80. But,
okay, 80, good. You rounded up.
80 years. So, I have about 20,000 days left. Wow. So, like, how am I using that? How am I using those days?
I love that Martin Luther quote. He says, work, work, work. So much work to do that I'm going to start the first 3 hours of each morning in prayer.
Boom. Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's a great quote. But I think it's like, okay, so obviously family is important. Family has the impact that we want, right? So my question is, how do we evaluate where to spend our time on any given day? The practical side of this, and I tried to create this little rating tool that we could maybe play with today, okay? And it's just to help us determine how we spend our time. So let me ask you this: on a scale of 1 to 5. I want you to rate how well you manage your time. So a scale of 1 to 5, each of us will go around. 1 being you don't even know where your time goes and you wonder where it went. And then 5 is you know exactly how your time was spent and you believe you're spending it in its utmost potential. So how would you rate yourself? 1 to 5.
This is the first one, because I see these questions listed here. The first one is just life as a whole.
This is just how you're, exactly.
Category. So there's a life score. That's a big one.
Life score.
By the way, sorry, I'm still tripping on what you said about 30,000 hours. And I had to double check the
30,000
math.
days.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Not hours.
Wait a second. Yeah, that's right.
Days, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. I had to check your math, and that's what it comes out to. If you round up, it's about 30,000.
Yeah.
You said you're already a third through that? That's what that would be, right there. Yeah, 30.
Uh-huh.
For 30-something. 30. Well, more than that.
Yeah.
You're not going to be, you're not, I know you're not going to live to be 90.
Dude, my great-grandma's 102, man.
Dude, you're definitely living to be 90. Take it back.
I might have a little
35,000. I'm tripping.
000.
That's like a great, I love how you put that numerically, man. That messed me up. So sorry, I'm still back on point B there.
Dude,
but,
it was like, whew.
Okay, I'm going to cop out and just like give myself a 3, somewhere in the middle.
Cop out. Jeez.
I thought you were going to.
Average grade.
If you're a 3, I don't know what
3.5. 3.5, working towards 4.
I'll be honest. I'm probably a 2.
I have some of my agents listening to this. So
Let's go.
I'm going to give myself a 3.
Way to be
That's
honest.
generous.
Nice.
I'm just going to go for a 5, man.
Whoa!
I aspire. Yeah, and
bomb
It's
dropped.
like auto evaluation. If it's up to me, I'm going to give myself a 5.
Wow.
Whether it's true or not.
How do you do it?
That does the man.
It just blows away the halo effect of self-disclosure, halo effect.
That's amazing.
Beto fancies himself an angel every time. God bless this man.
Yes.
I
love it. Okay, so we got a 3.5, we got a 3, we got a 2, and a 5.
We got to average it up, man.
So it's about average of 4.
Is the next one how much time do we invest with our
how
kids?
much time do you spend with your kids? That's the next question.
Invest with our kids?
So let's say on a weekly basis.
I'm going to go 4.5 there. I have a pretty unique schedule being a church worker, and
nice.
Where it's flexible and I can be available. I know that's not fair. Judge it, knock it. I'm clear about who I am, what I've called to, but we're pretty fortunate which time.
Yeah, and this doesn't ask how intentional the time is with the kids, just the amount
just time.
of
Sure.
time.
Just amount of time.
So I'm going to go 4.5 as well.
Come on.
Nice. Yeah.
Watch, here it comes. Here it comes. Do it, dude.
1. No, I'm just
Actually, I'm just going to reveal that the 5 was whatever. I'll say 3.5.
Okay.
3.5.
Nice.
Right, so the 5 was not real.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Oh,
Otherwise, this should have been a 5. right? If my previous one was a 5, then this one
Should be a 5 too.
should be a 5 too.
yeah.
Yeah, that makes
Right?
sense.
That's what I'm expecting from you from now
Okay, so
Okay.
on. I'm expecting a 5.
I'm just gonna go with 3.5.
Glassman.
We'll come back to that.
He's a mystery,
when
dude.
when we're there. No, I'm definitely up there with you guys. Definitely like 4.5 for sure.
Nice.
I think same with what Ben said. I mean, I'm definitely very blessed.
Okay, time as a family.
Time as a family. Next one. How much time? Wait, what? That's the next one.
That's the next one, right?
How much time do you spend with your wife?
Oh, with your wife. Yeah, we got to be over a 4.
I
We
missed
got to
that
be
one.
somewhere over a
You're
4,
good.
I think. Yeah, in light of the fact that some of the new habits, again, on a 2-week stretch, I think we're driving that number up for quality time. So it's good.
You know, it's depends on what week it is. Sometimes she's like, man, I feel like I haven't seen you, but you know, I definitely prioritize her. I know she feels like a priority, so I'm gonna have to go with the 4.
Nice. I'm going with a 3.5. I think I spent a lot of time with my wife, but I think back to the idea of like, you know, I think in our previous podcast talking about logistical conversations.
Yeah, I might
That's
have to
usually
lower
where
mine a
our
little bit.
conversation.
Just need a little more sex.
Here's the funny trick
Yeah.
about what Ben's done here, by the way. I'll let you guys in on it. When you answer the first one, now the rest of your answers should equate to that top one.
Yeah.
So, like, we're going to see how honest you really are.
3.5.
Yeah.
We'll revisit the
led with
first-
3.5, so some of these are going to bring us way down if we're going with some 4s,
Yeah,
which I'm ready for that.
4.
Nice. Yeah,
Good.
yeah, that makes sense. I see
So
that.
you're gonna
wife,
need
happy
you're gonna need
life,
some
bro.
6s in here, Beto, to bring it up.
Yeah.
How much time
Exacto.
do you spend as a family together? Not just with your kids, but as a family, as a whole,
Right.
as a unit.
Ben was praying for me for a stretch just to get family dinner time back on lock, like everyone's
Yeah.
sitting at the table at the same time. So
Let's go, dude.
that question's real. Yeah, man.
How would you rate
We're
it?
pretty scattered.
What would be your rating?
I'm
I would say 4.
I'm gonna
4.
go back to 3, dude. Even though I just got back from an 8-day vacation with them, I still just in general, I think I can be a whole lot more intentional with it.
Yeah.
I will be more intentional with it today.
I'm going 3.8.
Let's go.
I'm going 3.8.
3.8?
Yeah, it's
Nice.
like a high mark because we do take time off throughout the year, but it's getting knocked down because the amount of time we're sitting at the same table is pretty low.
All right, 3.5.
There you go, buddy.
4.
4 solid.
Nice. How much time do you spend working or on leisurely activities by yourself?
Oh, those are 2 different questions, right?
By yourself.
So basically, the idea of this last evaluator would be like,
Oh.
this is like you're alone, no one else, either working or doing whatever you want leisurely. How would you rate that?
Wait. So it's solo working or solo
Or just
leisure?
just answer your just think about like your life, like comparatively to like the amount of time you spend with your kids, family, wife, etc.
Okay.
Compared to how much time do you spend
Alone.
working or
Okay.
alone?
Yeah.
Or on whatever else you're
Yeah,
doing.
well, that's a pretty lopsided number. I mean, if we have an 8-hour workday, that's pretty much my answer. I mean,
Yeah. Okay.
So that's
So
more,
what's the
more
number?
more solo than so then if you gotta rank that. So that's where I bring myself all the way down. Yeah, so 2.5.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. 3.5.
yeah.
Wait, is a tricky question. say the question again.
Okay, so you're just thinking about like compared to the time you're spending with your family, wife, or kids,
Yeah.
comparing that time to the time you're spending
Solo.
on work or a solo, whatever you want to
Without
do.
them, wherever you are without them.
Okay. Whenever, I mean, the answer is 6.
Like 6 hours or six? A
6.
A rating of
On a
6.
scale.
The rating is 6
Because
it's
you
over
have
5.
way more solo time than
Yes.
group time.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so he
It's
answered the
a
opposite
confusing
of us.
question, I'll admit.
Right.
show.
That's or maybe I'm not getting it, but
No, you're
You
I'm
might be the
getting it
only one who did it
backwards?
right.
So here's what
you
I-
might be the only one who did it right.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I think so,
If you guys
actually.
are listening along here and you've helped,
We lost them. They're
you're as
gone.
confused
Yeah,
as
I know.
we
They're
are.
gone.
You've helped yourself to these questions and really evaluated yourself. So the question I want to follow up with this is: how do you qualify what's most important?
Right.
How do you qualify what's most important? So that's a deeper question, and I guess my argument is that so me and Ben were blessed. We have the opportunity, maybe all of us here in this room, we're blessed. We've been afforded the opportunity to have maybe extra time with our family and kids and whatnot, and we're blessed. And I think that's a reality.
Amen.
But I also think that wasn't by default. That was by design.
That's good.
And
That's
I
fair,
think, like what you said, our legacy is created by either default or by design. It's going to happen one way or another. And I believe that we've spent the time evaluating how can we adjust our life to match what we think is most important. So how do we qualify what's most important?
Yeah. I love that question. I think that's the culmination of the episode, and it has so much to do with what we're doing at Legacy Makers because it's values. Values. If you have not set down a list of 3, 5, 8 of your core values as an individual and as a family unit, you are born to wander and drift and be so disappointed when you arrive at that 77-year-old birthday. So values. And so I'll put skin on that again. Like, I love what you say there. Like, we all have some kind of, even though some are nonprofits, some are in business, some are in church, like we have leadership roles at our respective organizations, which gives us some freedom or some adaptability to be able to call the shots. But I love that you say it's driven by value. So when I came into my role as lead pastor, I asked the elders and I said, hey, is it going to be okay? Can we have a common value that me and my family take off a week per quarter?
Yeah.
I just said, like, I believe, based off of the wisdom and experience and mentors and coaches and fathers I've had, that this is a marathon. And in order for me to succeed as your pastor shepherding this local church, my whole family has to win.
Yeah.
If I lose my marriage or my kids, then you can't win either because I can't win without them.
That's good.
And so, Sabbath and rhythms and time off is going to be a value, and there's going to be, we're going to feel safe and comfortable saying no, and we're going to be safe drawing some lines in the sand. But that was driven by an epiphany about Sabbath and time off and rest days and days with family. Yep. And then we made those convictional statements. So
I love that. So how do you qualify it? Values. So good.
Yeah.
Well, you want to say something?
Well, you got to go through the legacy mapping session.
Exactly.
Schedule yours today, baby. Just call this number, 888-888-2222.
This is not a plug, I promise.
It is a plug!
What is the website, Ben?
ChooseOurLegacy.com.
I mean, I'm still blown away that people can get their hands on a family crest still. I mean, these things should be going for,
thousands,
hundreds of thousands. You have a prophetess and Ben's wife that designs these things that basically is the culmination of your family's core values, yours and your wife's, and how you want to live your life by design, what you stand for, and put into this crest.
Right.
That is like the centerpiece of your home and your life. I mean, they're priceless.
Talk about an NFT, bro.
I'm thinking these worthless NFTs out here are going for $500,000, and these family crests that just bring
crest
joy.
NFTs.
Get a crest that your kids will not be ashamed of.
That is one NFT I would invest in.
Let's go.
But yeah, it's definitely a value system, and find out what yours is if you don't have one, and make sure you're on the same system as your wife. And then, I mean, I think the Lord really lays it down. One of the things we didn't grade ourselves on was time spent with the Lord. Right? And I think it comes from that. If we're not filled up, if our cup's not filled, how are we going to pour out? We are, though, filled by watering others. And I think there's just no doubt about my hierarchy here and value system, which is Jesus, my wife, and children. I mean, end of story. And then everything I do, like with work and for my clients, and how I serve them and love them through these processes and this experience and bringing them these great results, is for Jesus and my wife and children.
Yep.
Check this out. John 10:10. Okay, it says, this is Jesus. The thief's purpose is to steal, kill, and destroy. My purpose is to give them a rich and satisfying life. So apply this to time, right? So the thief's purpose is to steal, kill, and destroy your time. My purpose is to give you a rich and satisfying life with your time, right? So I think another version would say, I've come to give you abundant life, or life abundantly. Yep. And I've been thinking a lot of that, because I've had, maybe some people that are listening also can relate to this, but pretty recently this year, not the first months of the year, we had a dear friend of ours, his wife committed suicide, right? So super hard situation. And I mean, I've been wrestling with that idea of like, why do people give up? Why do people like say no to life? And it brings me to this passage by, Jesus saying, I've come to give you abundant life, right? So if you're not experiencing like the deeper meaning of what this life should be, maybe your purpose, your sense of like time in this planet has been stolen by the thief, right? Because that's his purpose, to kill, steal, and destroy. And what I love is that Jesus is so clear on what his purpose is. He's like, this is his purpose of the evil one, and this is my purpose. And so I've been wrestling with that idea, like how do we make the best of our time on earth? And if you think all these people that you might think of them as the most successful people on this planet, right? Like actors that had it all together, it seemed. Musicians that, it seems like they have everything in this life, right? They have the fame, the fortune, they travel, they have the audiences. And to think that some of them, have given up to this life with that level of quote unquote success, that it just brings us back to the question as humans, just from a humanity's perspective, like what are we aspiring for in this life, right? When it comes to the meaning of life, how are we utilizing our time in this planet? And I think it just comes back to relationships, right? That's why family is so essential, and why Legacymakers is so profound in the work it's doing, because it's bringing us back to the most important relationships that you have are right in front of you.
Yeah.
Right. And if you start caring for those, if you invite God to speak into your own heart and say, how can I care for these beautiful relationships God has entrusted to me? Yeah. You're going to see the abundant life that it can produce, right? You're going to live a life that it doesn't matter the circumstances. It doesn't matter if, you're living wealth or poverty or whatever it might be. You are going to be the richest person in the world.
That's right.
I love
you want
that.
to change the world, go home and love your family. And you said the key word, Mother Teresa. Saw that quote on your wall. You said the key word, which is purpose. And I think a very powerful thing to do is to ask ourselves, what is the purpose of this thing I'm about to do?
Yep.
Whatever it is. What is my purpose in this thing I'm about to say? What is my purpose?
Question.
Right? And if anybody needs help finding their purpose, I think it lies somewhere in the middle. There's some diagram you could probably look up on this, your talents, what people would say you're really good at, your pain, your experiences, what you've gone through in life, and what gets you going, what excites you, and then somewhere in the middle of those things are your purpose. And I would cry out and ask God, hey, if you don't know, what is my purpose? And God came through clear as day to me when I took time alone, sitting, staring at the ocean and journaling and asking him over and over again, Father, what is my purpose? And he told me to help others and to tell people about me. And it was totally in line with my experiences, what I had been through, what gets me excited, which is like speaking to a crowd, right? And pain that I've gone through and experiences that I've had, and how the Lord's met me in it.
Well, I love that question too, because it's just, asking that for anything, what's the purpose? What purpose does this serve? I think just asking that is like a great qualifying tool for
especially if we were about to go scroll on social media and see what
new car. Quick side note. So you mentioned our family verse, which is John 10:10. I've come that they may have life and life to the full. So everywhere we camped this time, we have a family flag, and
you guys are so intentional.
We do a flag raising ceremony. It's 2 feet by 3 feet. It's got our crest. It's got our family mission and our family verse and our values, and so we practice it, and we remember why we're here, and yada yada yada.
Legacymakers, bro.
Anyway, I recommend everyone gets a family flag. It's very, very helpful.
Fly that flag, baby.
But anyway, just to really quick kind of tee us up for the last part of this conversation, which is what have you found helpful to make the most of your time and invest it in the things that matter most?
Right. So like the tool that I would give for time management and to make these decisions, we talked about purpose, we talked about values, long list those. Yeah. Sharpen the purpose, long list the values, then whittle it down. But Pete Scazzero has this great tool. He calls it the rule of life. It's not his. He uses it off the ancient church fathers, like think Catholic priests and monks and stuff. They call it the rule of life. You can Google it. Okay. But as a staff, we did this recently. I just pulled mine out, which is a rough draft here. But you ask 3 questions. Ask 3 questions on a 3-prong chart. What nurtures me? What fills my tank? What depletes me? What empties my tank? What depletes me? And the third kind of question, a little different. What must I do? There's things you must do, right? You must go to work. You must feed the kids, So ask those 3 questions. What nurtures me? What depletes me? And what must I do? And whether these are his categories or I translated them, but the flip side of the page is 4 things, 4 boxes. Prayer, work, relationships, rest. that's like kind of a picture of the soul. Like if you think of you as a person, the whole person, your life is kind of divided into work, rest, relationships, and prayer or spirituality. So I think that's a great tool for people to help do that.
The rule of life. That's a great tool.
Love that.
What else?
Something that's helped me that I learned from some very successful intentional men through that Rise Up Kings program was target setting and tracking. So setting up quarterly targets, right, in both faith, family, fitness, and finance. What do we want to achieve? Make sure it's measurable. Make sure it has a metric of measurement, right? Like I want to lose 10 pounds or whatnot, right? And then break down that goal over that 90-day period down to monthly goals, monthly targets I like because you need something to aim at. Then break it down into the top 4 weekly targets, which are basically, these are the things I want to achieve, and then break it down into daily activities and then go out and execute. So you're reverse engineering with the end game in mind and breaking it down into little daily base hit singles that we can hit in order to achieve that over this time. You can do it with your family. You can do it with your faith, right? I want to read the entire Bible in 90 days. Well, if I break that down into a monthly target and then a weekly target and then a daily target, I'm chipping away at it, chipping away.
I love
right?
that.
And it applies to each one of these
Good.
pillars.
Yeah. Any last words of advice on how to make the most of our time and things that matter most?
I just have an example I'd love to share. So my oldest, Joseph, is 12, and that's an age where, he can do things on his own, like more, I guess, with more ease. So, for example, he's always loved building Legos. He's kind of like engineer, ever since he was a little kid. And he loves these little things called tech decks, which is like a miniature skateboard that you use with your fingers. So it's like you're skating, but with 2 fingers. And he went to a skate park for these little thingies, right? So it's like a
No way.
Yeah, it's
That's
a skate
awesome.
park in some mall, and
that's cool.
all these kids come and they're playing with the little skateboards, and there's ramps and everything, right? So, anyways, he said, hey, what would it entail for me to make one of these of my own, right? He's an engineer, so he's thinking about like, I want one of my own. And the cool thing is like he started, he said, can we go to Home Depot and get whatever we think we need for this, right? So we went, we got a board, like a 2x4 board, and then we got some foam, and we got cement and stuff like that. So anyways, he's building the ramp. So there's a little bit of like, he's on his own, like creating the place, right? The little skate park. But the cool thing is that to me, it was like a tangible invitation of where to spend my time. Here's his passion. Here's something like he's interested about. I may not be, I may never skate with my fingers in a sense. But I do have construction experience. Right, so can I apply a little bit of that into pouring onto my son's skills and abilities and dreams and hopes? So, anyways, he's been developing that, and I said, I'm going to help you pour the cement, the concrete, once you finish all the ramps, right? So he's designing on his own, like all these little ramps he wants on the little skate park.
That's awesome.
And then I'm going to come in, and then we're going to do like the dirty work of, okay, let's mix the cement. It's going to be dusty and kind of nasty and whatever, working with cement is pretty fun. And then we're going to experiment with what is that going to look like. So I think to me that was a very tangible, here's somebody I love. Here's somebody that I've witnessed his development since he was a little baby, right? Like he's my firstborn. So he's the first one I've seen grown up and transition, from a little kid into a boy, and, have his own likes and abilities and his own, develop his own, passions. And I think this is just a way for me to say, okay, there's purpose in life. The purpose is to enjoy relationship with one another. Let's do something you love. And I'm just a participant of that. Right. So I would say for those who are listening, find those those invitations from those around you that you love, that maybe that little your little kid, when he comes and he says, "Dad, this little toy or whatever he's playing with," maybe that's an invitation for you to participate and say, get silly, and okay, let's play with my little girl dolls or whatever.
And I think the world and the enemy wants to tell us, like, you don't have time for that. You can't do that, right? Like, get behind me, Satan. Like, that brings true joy, and I love that. I thought that was going to be a story about reverse engineering for a target, but it totally, I like where you went with it.
Yeah, so good. No, I think it was great. I mean, I would just finish with the word intentionality. I think at the end of the day, it's the key word here is intentionality. And there's this book called The Intentional Legacy. And he says that intentionality is the process of careful thought and preparation concerning the most critical details that will shape your family and its future. To be intentional is to decide that you will be self-conscious about the way you live your life and shape the legacy you hope to bequeath to the next generations. It's just intentionality coming down to it.
And I just love what you're saying there, and it reminds me of what was said earlier, that our children are a mirror of us, right?
Yep,
my children are a
exactly.
mirror of me, and I challenge us to ask ourselves this question: what do your children do that frustrate you? And then have the realization that it's what you're doing.
Yep. Boom. It's the mirror. Your decisions, man. So true. Well, just as a recap, today is about, making the most of the time, because time is not on our side, and it's our most precious and valuable resource that we have. So thank you guys for listening. We hope this episode encourages and inspires you to continue building a legacy that lasts beyond yourself. Thank you guys, and we will see you next time. At Legacymakers, we are igniting a movement of families living on purpose so that every generation should set their hope anew on God. And you choosing to listen to this episode today is only going to further that movement and further the development of the legacy you will leave for generations. So thank you for being a part of that. If you'd like to learn more about becoming a legacy maker, go to www.chooseourlegacy.com, where you're going to find resources and tips and next steps to continue building the legacy that you intend to leave. You can also follow us on all social platforms at Legacy Maker Families. Thank you so much again for listening, and now go love your family.